And here is one that I made earlier. Okay, so we've got an exciting video today, and we're going to be looking into bag and board for comics. Bagging and boarding for comics. They're two phrases for it. It's the same thing, but I don't know if you say bag and board, because you're going to bag and board it, and then you're bagging and boarding it. So yeah, so it's you're going to and you're doing it. So yeah, the first thing we're going to look into is, what does bag and board mean? So if you do a Google search, a Google definition doesn't really pop up, but on the first thing that does pop up, which is on the first page of Google, the phrase, or the definition for it, shall we say, that pops up is, and I'm going to read it off of here because I want to get it precise. The definition is, traditionally comic books are stored upright in a bag with a section of board to support them. So what that means is storing comics in a protective bag with a board behind it to stop it from bending. And yeah, that's the simple terms of what bag and board means. So the next thing we're going to get into is the reason. And the reason for like doing any of this, doing any of the bag and boarding, because you can just get comics and have them out of the bag and just read them and do whatever you like with them. But the reason for bagging and boarding comics is, one, it protects the comics, which is a big thing. So in the world of comics, protecting comics is a really big thing, because if you don't protect them, they can get damaged, they can get spine damage, and just water can get onto them, or liquids can get onto them and stuff like that. So protect them from all the damage that could possibly happen. Yes, there is damage that can happen within the bags, but you're reducing that damage by, let's say, 80%. It is ridiculous how like a little simple thing like this can protect your comics so much. As well as this, it preserves the condition as well. So it preserves the condition of the comic, which means that it lasts longer. The comic, it's not like it's gonna like go moldy or go out of date like food or whatever like that. Nothing like that. It just, in terms of protection and stuff, it lasts longer, so it doesn't get damaged as quicker, shall we say, or as sooner. It's not like it's going to get damaged, but you know what I mean. And then the value for that comic, so in terms of selling in the future, can go up as well, because a comic that's in a bag, that's been bagged and board, compared to out of the bag, is probably more valuable than it would be out of the bag. That makes sense? Yeah. So basically, the value of it will go up because it's been protected, which, yeah, is a very big thing. And in all honesty, it's a cheap thing to do to preserve a comic that you like, and the value can just go up. So it's a no-brainer. So as this, it's easy for storage, so you can put it in your comic book box, and you know that it's protected, and that when you take them out and stuff, you're not going to damage the comics themselves. And then, last but not least on this subject of the reason, it also looks neat as well. Also looks tidy. Like, I kid you not, right? I recently, all my comics are bagged and board, and I've just used the ones that have been provided to me before. But when I bought my own, honestly, the quality of them just looks so much better in a bag than it does out of a bag, and it's ridiculous how good they look. And it keeps it straight with the board in there as well, and it just, chef's kiss, looks so good, so good. But yeah, so now I'm going to move on to the equipment that I use for bag and boarding, for bagging and boarding. I will never get that phrase correct. Yeah, so let's get into the equipment. So, as we've been talking about the bagging and boarding, let's show you the bag that I use. So, there is the pouch of, I believe, 100 comics. There's not 100 in there because I've used a few of them, but this is the current size comic bags from Comic Concept. They're not from Comic Concept. This is the brand that made them, but they're from somewhere on eBay. I think it's called like Goblin City Games or something like that. But yeah, so we've got 100 bags in there, and I think that cost me just under £8. And for that, it's an absolute steal, an absolute bargain. But yeah, moving on from that, we use boards. So I've got boards here, which are just your standard current size comic boards. There's 25 in there, and that just cost me just under £8 as well. I think they were the same price actually. I could have gone for 50, but for the time being, I wanted to spend as little as possible, and I think 25 is enough. So as well as this, to be fair, going on to the next time, I'm going to talk about tape. And this has been a big thing for my comics. So I've been really racking my brain with how to like tape the back of the comics, because I got a comic from a comic book shop. Well, it's basically a mini series. It was a Deadpool vs X-Force one, and I think they had like Scotch tape on the back, magic Scotch tape stuff. And I thought, right, okay, that's what I need to get. So I started doing my research, asking Google. Then I asked ChatGPT, and if you know of ChatGPT, very handy for stuff like this, just for asking simple questions. And it was telling me like, you need this tape, you need that tape, and honestly, it got to a point where I got so confused that I just shut my laptop and went, nope, you're all right, thank you. But I stuck with it, and the next day, looking into it, I found the one, because I watched a YouTube video of a guy doing it, and basically I said, right, that's what I need to do, because it just works so well. And the tape that I've got is, let me find the name of it, there we go, this one here, as you can see, that one there, just purple tape. Well, I'm going off the screen, there we go, purple tape, and it's called the Scotch Blue Painter's Masking Tape. And this is, I think it's called like the Delicate one or something like that, and it basically sticks on without leaving like residue or being stuck well on. So what I tend to do with this is just put one little bit on the back, and Bobby your uncle does the job. Put a little tab on the end, and this is, well, to be fair, I just said about putting the tab on the end, and in all honesty, it's one of those simple things that you don't think about, but it works a treat. So instead of putting the tape fully down, put a little tab on the end, and it's easy to pull off then. Works an absolute treat. And then, last but not least, we have the trusty old scissors, which I class these as school scissors, but yeah, trusty old scissors. Moving on from this, I'm now going to show you the process that I do with bagging a comic. So I'm going to move you on to my other camera, which is my phone, get you a bit of a top-down shot, and show you exactly how I bag and board my comics. I'm going to do it with one comic, show you how we do it, and I'm not saying it's the right way, but it's also not the wrong way. It's kind of like your own choice on how you do it. Like if you want to do it the way I do it, go ahead and do it. But I think this is the right way for me personally. Works a treat and nothing gets damaged. So putting you onto the other camera now. Okay, so as you can see here, I have got my Superman Unlimited issue number 2. I think it's cover A, this one. It's like there's a standard one. Comic that we are going to bag and board. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into the process. So to start with, what we'll do is we'll move this to the side, so it's all nice and out the way. We'll grab our bag first. So here is the bag of choice, standard bag basically, and then we've got our board. So we've got the board, we've grabbed the, so what we've got in a minute is we've grabbed the comic, we've got the bag, and we've got the board. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, you want to make sure that this tab here goes at the back. I don't know why, but sometimes when I get orders, the tab's at the front. I never understand that, because when you want to tape it, you don't want to see the tape on the front, you want to see the cover on the front. So I always make sure that this is at the back. So with these boards, and I don't know if it's the same for all of them, so don't quote me on this or what have you, but there's like a rough side and a shiny side, and I like to put the shiny side on like behind that so you can see it, and the rough side at the back. So without further ado, what we're going to do is I'm going to place the board into the bag, which is a bit tricky with these because they're quite tight. Not too tight that it's going to damage the comic, but tight enough that it looks good. So yeah, perfect. That is there. And then what we do is grab the comic, put it that way, silly me. Right, put it that way, and then wait there, so that's on the back. Yep, that's correct, Chip. So we want to put the comic in now, slide that in. Perfect. And then we turn that over, and then we grab our tape. So you don't want loads of tape, just enough so you can make a tab and it sticks it down basically. So what you want is probably about, yeah, that's about right. So let me just cut it off with the scissors. So let me just place that there. Perfect. And just pop that away and pop that away. And then what I like to do, as I mentioned, is make a little tab. And that's what I'm going to do. So, tab there, done, push that down. It's not fully straight, the tab, but it's not a biggie. So then we flatten that down there as much as we can. And then we tape that down. Like that. And voila, there you have it. One comic book, bagged and board. So that is all my knowledge that I know of bagging and boarding, bag and board, board and bag, however you want to say it, put into this video. All my knowledge is in this video. I'm not an expert, so before you, I don't know what you're going to do with it, before you think I am or think I know what I'm talking about, I don't. But I have a good understanding of what I need to do to protect my comics. And to be honest, I'm not an expert because I recently got into comics a couple of months ago, so I'm starting out, loving it, and want to share this knowledge because I felt a bit of satisfaction when I bagged and board the comics with the new bags and stuff, because it just looks so good, so good. So yeah, I just wanted to share the knowledge because I was so excited and just love bagging and boarding comics. I wouldn't say that I love it enough to do it like every day, all day, what have you, but I love it enough that it's like just that final piece of the comic is like, oh, there you go. It's like putting it in a display case type thing. It just looks so good. So that's my knowledge in the video. I'd like to thank you for watching. It's that time. It's the end of the video and I've got to say goodbye. So goodbye. Please do like, subscribe and comment because there's going to be more content on this channel. There's going to be well more content of comics, photography, vlogs, you name it. Everything that I'm interested in and passionate about. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And as I said, like, subscribe and comment because there's gonna be I was gonna say vlogs then. There's gonna be vlogs, there's gonna be videos, there's gonna be everything all on this channel. So stay tuned for that and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, ta-ta for now. And here is one that I made earlier. I feel a bit like I'm on a oh no, crap. Stop.